Hello YouTube. This is a continuation video of the high dilation series. Technically I made another video that's considered like a continuation of the eye dilation, but I didn't put down the title right, but I was talking about my ex and the lessons that I learned from that experience. And it's important to like understand where I'm coming from and why I'm making these videos, because I feel like a lot of people are going through the same thing where I'm going through. And despite that, we all have different experience, we're all different people, different humans. There is a recognizable pattern, kind of like a human behavior, as if you yourself are a zoologist or an alien observing human life. There is a distinctive, recognizable pattern that we could all, agree on and point out. And the whole reason why I'm making this eye dilation series is because I am constantly wondering how relationship could be successful in the long run. Because let's be real, I think 95% of humans on this planet generally wants a partner who are gonna be together for a very long time, for a happy long-term relationship. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say, but most of us humans, we want to be able to find a partner, and that partner gives us genuinely happiness for the long term, for the majority of our short lives. Now, that being said, I just want to continue with this video. In my last video, before I start, I just want to point out something. One of the lessons that I learned from dating my ex is that sometimes, and this is a very hard pill to swallow, but it's a very hard red pill to swallow. First of all, before I say it, men and women, they genuinely see romance very differently. That statement, men are from Mars and women are from Venus, is the most truthful fact, like factual statement, a truthful statement could ever been said. Men and women see romance very differently, period. And one of the lessons I learned from my failed relationship was sometimes women would date guys that they don't like. And sadly, I had that experience. I had the experience where a woman dated me, but she did not like me. And I'm constantly wondering in my head why she even bothered. Why? There were moments where me and her, when we hang out, we generally were happy together. We generally enjoy each other's company. But there's always like a hidden issue, like a issue that is kind of obvious, but we don't want to acknowledge it. And this relates to the whole eye dilation thing. What I learned is basically this, and just to clarify what I mean when I say girls sometimes date guys that they don't like, is that first of all, relationship is more like a business, more like transactional business. When a girl is dating you, she wants something from you in return. Now, of course, us guys were very simple creatures. All we want is a female companion that is pretty, that look at us with admiration, and most importantly, a little booty call that, we could have fun at the bed. That's all majority of guys, that's all we want. Nothing more, nothing less. We don't really care if you're rich, poor. We really don't care if, where you came from, as long as you're with us. Well, maybe we do care where you came from, but at the end of the day, we just want a companion. A majority of us men, straight men, we want a female companion that we could sleep with, that we could have kids with, that she look at us with admiration. And most importantly, but sadly, this is kind of like a unicorn trait if we ever find such woman. If the woman's generally happy to be with us and generally loyal to us. But sadly, this is not, a fantasy land or a perfect world. Sadly, the world that we live in is basically survival of the fittest. And one of the lessons I learned, I know I'm repeating myself, but one of the lessons I learned from my failed relationship is that girls will date you even if they don't like you. And the only way a girl would date you even if they don't like you is you bring something to the table that's worth both their time, their, best way I could put it, emotional investment and sexual investment. So yeah, that's the best way I could put it. And if you guys don't believe me, look up millionaires or billionaires examples. My favorite one is Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, that was a beautiful, perfect example of what I'm talking about. If you guys ever watched that viral video where Jeff Bezos' wife was genuinely attracted and eyeing on Leonardo DiCaprio, sorry I butchered that name, you could generally tell that she's more attracted to that guy than his own husband. And a lot of people are wondering about that behavior. Like, first of all, that's kind of disrespectful to her husband, Jeff Bezos, but at the same time, she kind of like revealed her true self, her true, best way I could put it, an animal instinct. And like I said, we live in a world where it's survival of the fittest. It's not fantasy land. That being said, there is a relationship therapist, there you go, I almost lost my words there, who has a master's degree in psychology, and the videos that he makes, he breaks it down very simple to the point where it kind of blows my mind how he say it. And one of the statements that he said, and I'll leave a link down in the description below about what he's saying, is that men, they do not go back sexually while women do not go back in lifestyle. And this relates to why women dates guys that they don't like or they're not attracted to. Like I said before, romance in itself, relationship in itself, is transactional. It's a business. If you're able to bring something to the table as a man for a woman to even considering to sleep with you, the number one thing that a woman is looking for is how you could elevate her lifestyle. Why you think on the internet there's a phenomenon called passport bros? Think about it, guys. Men from first world country are traveling to these poorer countries just to pick up women, and most of the time they're kind of successful at it, but there's a reason why. Because as I stated before, a relationship are transactional, and men and women look at relationship very differently. This same relationship therapist that makes these awesome videos and breaks down why relationships don't work or do work, one of the things he says is that kind of, blows my mind and stay with me, is that women tends to be more pragmatic, but men, they see relationship romantic, and romance is for men, not for the woman. And that really does blow my mind. So what does this relates to eye dilation? Well, sadly, this is something that I learned in life, that if you want a relationship to work and to last for a very long time, to last long term, this is one of them. In other words, you want to find a woman that is genuinely attracted to you and wants you. And sadly, I was in a relationship where my ex did not really, I don't want to say she didn't really like me. She did like me, but she wasn't attracted to me. And there's a big difference in that. And the funny thing about my life story is that about 2 or 3 years after me and my ex broke up, a woman was eyeing on me. And when she eyed on me, I clearly saw her pupils dilated. And that's when I started to realize that this woman generally was attracted to me. But sadly, she was in a relationship. And funny enough, she was also a co-worker. And the guy that she's seen with was also a co-worker. So as you can imagine, it was gonna be disastrous, which it did. Eventually I left that job. So keep in mind, this story is in the past. I moved on and quit that job. I went to do something more better to elevate my lifestyle, as I could say. But the point I'm trying to get at is that these things do happen. Women sometimes date men that they don't like, but the reason why they do it is because they want to elevate their lifestyle. And if you guys don't believe me, look up the concept of hypergamy, about women dating up. Look up passport bros, of men from first world country going to poorer countries just to pick up women. I mean, think about the world's oldest profession, prostitution. What do you think that's all about? It's about using sex as a business. And I know that sounds horrible, but the harsh reality is that women tend sometimes, not all of the time, but sometimes date men that they don't like. And at the same time, us men, we really want to be in a romantic relationship. We really want to have that, companionship. But sadly, we're sometimes blinded by our own fantasy of romance. And for me, my fantasy of romance was shattered by my ex. And it was even more shattered when a woman who was already in a relationship was eyeing on me. And that woman that was eyeing on me, she essentially gave me, I want to say, an idea, but more importantly, she gave me a gaze that my ex failed to give me, and that was honest attraction. And this is why I want to make this series of pupil dilation, or my story of eye dilation, which I will make more videos after this. And as I study more about how relationship could last for a very long time, one of the key components for long-term relationship, aside from sexuality itself, is basically genuine attraction honest attraction, honest love, etc., etc. But if a woman is sleeping with a man that she generally don't like, sleeping or getting into a relationship with a man that she doesn't like, then that relationship is doomed to fail. And sadly, I witnessed such things happen. So I'm gonna make more videos of what I've seen before about failed relationship, failing in my own eyes. I know I keep repeating my words, but bear with me. And I am hoping that these wisdoms could be passed on to you, and I hope you guys could learn a valuable lesson from my videos. Well guys, I'm gonna end it here because I'm past the 15-minute mark. And thank you for listening, and goodbye.